Welcome back everybody, and this is the one we have been waiting for. This is Delacombe Primary School's Grade 5-6 Numero Championship Final, and what a match this was. So many amazing takes, such good use of the fraction cards, because at Grade 5-6 we had every card in the Numero deck in there, even the square roots and the powers, all in there. With that being said, it's time to bring out our competitors. This match is between Zac and Taylor. Now both these students are very familiar with Numero's finals. Last year, Zac ended up coming second, winning the silver medal, and Taylor came third, winning the bronze medal. So today, they've fought all the way through the finals again. They've made it to the final match, and now both of them are hungry for that gold, hungry to see if they can beat what they did last year and come out on top as our Grade 5-6 Numero champion. So, with that being said, let's get straight into the match. So to begin with, our first two cards flipped into the centre are a 13 and a 15, and Zac can't do anything to start with, so discards a 3, and here we've got our first build of the match. 13 and 3 is 16, and then 1/4 of 16 is 4. So great take, Taylor grabbing the 4 there. Great first take of the match there. Really nice way to get started using those fraction cards. And so Zac, not being able to work with a 15, discards a 9. Again with the fraction cards, this time we've got 2/3 of 9 is 6. In there straight away. And you can see here Taylor keeps putting the pressure back on Zac, and so all he can do, and still not be able to work with that 15, is discard a 7, and then Taylor discards a 2. Now we've got Zac discarding a 4, so we've got 4 cards in the middle. There should be definitely something that Taylor can do here, so let's see what he can work with. In the end, looks like he just does a straight take, taking that 2 there. So Zac, still not in this match yet, really needs to start finding something he can work with, start organising some kind of take here. Alright, let's see what he does. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 take 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. He throws another 4 on top, making 8, and there it is. Laying down an 8 from his hand, taking all of that in one go. So a nice 6 card take to get him started. And so now he's well and truly back in this match. And so then Taylor only being able to discard a 1 after Zac's massive take there. And so now this time Zac puts the pressure back on, taking a straight take. Here we've got 1 times 4 is 4, taking that with the 4. Clearing the centre so that Zac can only discard a 10, to which Taylor quickly sweeps back up and takes as a straight take there. With the centre being cleared, Zac is again forced to put one of his number cards down, so he drops down a 2. Ooh, here we've got our first power. That is 2 to the power of 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, and then he puts a 3 down, making a build of 11, but it looks like Zac has 11 in his hand and he snatches that up straight away. But great use of the cubed card there. So now we've got another build. 11 and 1 makes 12. And there it is, Zac showing his 12 to his opponent and to the camera. And then, but this time Taylor's got it, and so he snatches that up. Zac's been very unlucky at the moment, having Taylor take so much of what's in the middle, always pushing Zac to forcing him to discard a card. And so now we've got a 9 and a 2 in the centre. And now Zac, not being able to work with it, drops a 6. Here Taylor comes back in. 2 times 5 is 10. He's looking, we can see that he's got a 10 in his hand there. He's looking to do more, but in the end, just takes a 10. And now Zac with his own build, 6 and 1 is 7. 7, take 5 is 2, and 9 is 11. Oh, Taylor again clearing the centre. Always constantly putting that pressure back on Zac. He just seems to find a way to make whatever's down on the table really work for him. So in this case, we've got Zac discarding a 12. And then Taylor drops down a 5. And then Zac puts down a 14. So here we've got another fraction card take. So we've got 3/4 of 12, which is 9, and then add 5s onto 9, we get 14. And then, oh my god, he drops down a 14. There was already a 14 down there. So Taylor coming in with the double take, clearing the centre for who knows how many times. And so poor Zac has got no option but to discard a 15 there. And then Taylor follows up by dropping a 10. But now it looks like it's Zac's turn to get into some fraction options. We've got 1/3 of 15 is 5. He puts a 10 from the centre on top to make 15 and snatches that up with a 15. Much better use of his cards than if he had just done the straight take. And finally, this time, Taylor's forced to discard a card in the centre. Alright, now it looks like Taylor is thinking something big here. So it looks like he puts a 3 on top of the 7 to make 10. Now I know, sorry, we've got a fraction card here which is 4/5. I know it's a bit hard to see, but 4/5 of 10 is 8, and there he is, dropping an 8 on top, taking that with the 8. Really good use of the 4/5 card there. Alright, so Zac is forced to discard a 7, and here it looks like Taylor wants to get rid of his 1/8 card, so places that down and also discards a 1. Now Zac discards a 13, so again we've got quite a few options to work with here now. They should be able to do something, and it looks like Taylor's onto it. 7 and 1 is 8, 1/8 of 8 is 1, and add the 13 on top to make 14, and there it is, a beautiful take of 14 there. Again, clearing the centre. Taylor is just unstoppable right now. And so Zac plays down a 5. Now it looks like again Taylor wants to get rid of some of his wild cards, so he drops down 1.5, 2.5 wild cards, and also discards a 13. Now, usually a good card to discard that 13 because it's one of those tricky prime numbers that don't actually come up too often, but it looks like Zac's going to take it with a straight take there. Again, Taylor just looking to discard, discards a 9. Zac really thinking about some of his options here, so he goes 5 divided by 5, which is 1, and 1 and 9 is 10. Then he goes on top of the 10. 1.5 times 10 is 15, and he takes it with the 15. What a great take from Zac there. Really, really nice one, and great use of the 1.5 card. But now it looks like Taylor's got a lot of wild cards again, so he chooses to discard a divide by 4 and an 8. And so Zac comes in. 2.5 times 8 is 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Does he have a 5? Yes, he does. Such a good take there by Zac. And so now here Taylor is forced to discard his square root card and a 6, and then Zac follows up by discarding a 12. Now you can see Taylor here, he tries to work out and see if he can do something with the square root card, but it doesn't work on a 6 or a 12, so instead he discards 2/5 and 11. So now there's lots of cards in the centre here, but Zac still, despite that, can't work anything out, so decides to go for a whole new hand by getting rid of all 4 wild cards and then finally discarding the number 4 that was in his hand. Okay, so now we have a massive amount of cards in the centre, so surely Taylor can conjure up something really, really big here. So you can see him thinking it through. Let's see what he does. So it looks like he starts with a 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Now he divides the 18 by 2 to make a 9, and then straight away puts the 11 on the 9 to build it all the way up to 20. A really nice number to work with, especially with the fifths. So then he goes for 2/5 of 20, which is 8. And so what is he thinking now? What is he going to do with that 8? Can't wait to see where he goes with this one. He decides against the 8, so now we're back to 20. Then he puts 3/5 on top of the 20, which is 12. Nut changes his mind, he's gone back to 8, so we've got 2/5 of 20, which is 8. And then he tries to square root 8, but that would end up in a rational number, so realises that doesn't work out. So now we're still stuck at 8 here. So now back to 20 again. What else is he gonna do? So then 20, half of 20 is 10, and then 1/10 of 10 is 1, and then he puts a 4 on top to build it back to 5, and he has a 5 in his hand there. What an incredible 8 card take by Taylor there. Such a good effort, and just some really, really good mental maths going on there. So now, how is Zac going to be able to respond to this? Looks like he puts a subtract 4 on the 12, which equals 8, and then goes on to put the square root card on top of the 8. And just like we said before, that ends up in a decimal number, and you can see this decimal number on the screen here now. It equals something like 4.24264, and then it even keeps going to more further decimal places. So what is he thinking here? But then look, he's got the number squared. So he brought it down to that crazy decimal number, but then he squared it to bring it back to 8, because those two cards are the inverse of each other. So now we're back to 8, and there he is, dropping the 8 and taking that there. So clever use of understanding which cards are the opposite of each other, the inverse. And so then Taylor, with all the wild cards in the middle, is forced to discard a 9. And you can see now this is really important because we're down to the end of the game here. We've run out of all the cards from our deck. So Zac has just dropped all his last cards, which means Taylor here has one chance to do a final take. Can he do it? 2 take 12 is 10. And then 3/5 of 10 is 6. 6 and 9 is 15. Then 1/5 of 15 is 3. Tries to cube root the 3, realises he can't, and then there he goes, takes it with the 3. What a take to finish. Taylor gets the last take of the match, which means he wins the cards in the middle, but being left with 2 number cards in his hands, 2 get subtracted from his winning pile, and now it is time to count the cards. So, starting with Zac's cards, let's have a look to see how well he did. So the cards are being counted up now, bringing in a total of 32, a really nice effort for Zac. And now for Taylor's, there it is, 53 cards. Taylor is our 2022 Numero Championship at grade 5-6 level, and he is thrilled with the victory. Remember, he came in last year's, he came 3rd, so now he finally gets a taste of gold, winning the ultimate Delacombe Primary School Numero Match of the Year. And what an effort. A really, really amazing game. You could see that how many times he put the pressure on Zac by clearing up and clearing that center, utilizing all the cards that were down there, and in the end, Zac could never just get on top. He was constantly having to start by discarding cards with a cleared center. So congratulations to not just our 2 finalists today, but all our competitors who have been part of our Numero Championship across the school. You've all done an amazing job. And if you want to get there next year, just keep practicing, practice hard in class, and think about some of those strategies you've seen over the last few videos to really, make sure that your game is the best it can be. All right, until next year, thanks everybody. Bye.